Hello, my name is Nancy Grimm and I am the family lawyer for Maryland Volunteer Lawyer Services, otherwise known as MVLS. I am here today to discuss with you what to expect should you find yourself having to attend a court hearing as a party to a case. Many clients express to me their concern and apprehension of having to attend court, especially when they've never been to court before. However, the court experience can be less anxiety-provoking simply by familiarizing yourself with what to expect, available resources, and courtroom procedures prior to attending the hearing. The first rule of thumb is to make sure that you hire an attorney, either a private one if you can afford one, or a pro bono attorney. Having an advocate to assist you in navigating legal language and procedures is the best way to ensure that your legal matter is well represented and argued before the court, and that your rights are fully and fairly represented. However, if you cannot afford an attorney, there are still many options available to you to secure a successful outcome. The first thing that I always tell clients to remember is to relax, to stay calm, to decrease your anxiety levels, as this is the most important thing you can do in order to prepare for a hearing. There are several relaxation techniques and methods that are helpful and are available to you, such as meditation, breathing exercises, a good diet, eating well, and physical activities. Incorporating any or all of these techniques regularly into your daily routine will help you to build stamina, confidence, and reduce anxiety. Remember, calm is a superpower and will strengthen your ability physically and emotionally to undertake this task. For those who cannot find an attorney or afford an attorney, you may be able to find a pro bono attorney. There are several agencies available who will be happy to provide a free attorney when an individual cannot afford one. The type of attorney depends on your legal issue. If you are facing a criminal matter, you will want to contact the Public Defender's Office for help and assistance. For non-criminal matters, volunteer attorneys who are skilled in family law, tax, housing, guardianship, and other legal matters are the most skilled in providing services to you. Once faced with a potential legal matter, it is very important to seek an attorney immediately so that that attorney can adequately prepare for your case and for any resultant hearing. It is also important that you contact the agencies immediately once you receive your documents so that they have plenty of time to find an attorney who can meet your needs. Preparation is a key to a successful outcome when approaching a court hearing or trial. Some individuals will have no option but then to represent themselves. Oftentimes, an attorney is not available for them through their agencies. And despite any best efforts to find an attorney, you will not be able to have any other option except to represent yourself in court. If you find yourself in this situation, it is best to first contact the clerk's office in the courthouse where your pleading has been filed or where the case will be potentially heard. It is here where you will begin the preparatory steps, necessary to successfully represent yourself. The clerk's office will direct you to legal resources to assist you in walking you through the required steps to ensure your success. These resources, among others, will include self-help clinics, family law programs within the courthouse, where the case is filed, and are a wonderful resource where you can learn the necessary law and receive assistance with filing any required pleadings or responses. Other resources include Maryland Courts, the Maryland Courts website, marylandcourts.gov, where you can obtain forms and other information, and the People's Law Library at peoples-law.org, where you can also research the law to assist you in representing yourself as you proceed through your case. MVLS, Maryland Volunteer Lawyer Service, is also available to you at mvlslaw.org, and they will be happy to assist you in finding an attorney when possible. Always remember that when you receive any documents and are served any documents either through the mail, certified mail, the sheriff, or by private process, you must open those documents immediately. There are certain deadlines that are placed on responding to these documents that the court requires, and failure to answer them in a timely manner can jeopardize your case. Once you receive your documents, it is important that you contact your attorney or you contact the agency who will provide you an attorney as soon as possible, so that those individuals will have ample time to research your case and work through the issues and the protocols in order to represent you. Now, when it comes to courtroom policies, procedures, and actually tips that you can utilize, there are certain things that I want you to be aware of. First of all, again, I want to mention, because I cannot mention this enough, is the need to stay calm. Attending court, especially for the first time, can be an unsettling experience. And the key to any stressful situation is to remain calm, eat well the day of and before the proceeding, and get plenty of rest. Again, allow yourself time to get to the courthouse, as this can be stressful in itself. You want to perhaps take a trial run a couple of days before your hearing to locate the courthouse, to locate parking, to determine how long it will take you to walk from the parking lot to the courthouse. You want to allow yourself for the lines of individuals that may form outside the courthouse. The courthouse is a busy place, and many individuals' cases are being heard. So you want to plan on getting there early, finding your parking, allowing time to go through the security scanner, and to find your courtroom. All of these things, if not done in advance, can also provide stress to you. As we know, stress can be distracting and can interfere with a person's confidence and ability to perform creatively and diligently, and hinders focus. You want to be able to focus on your case and to be successful as you move through the proceeding. Stay organized. A couple of days before the proceeding, the best approach is to organize your paperwork. Chronologically, by date, organizing your paperwork in a folder is helpful in keeping track of the day's proceedings and the issues that will likely be brought up in court and discussed. It is also a good practice to make a list of talking points for yourself and to portray to the judge, so that you can portray adequately to the judge who will be overseeing and deciding your case what it is exactly you want him to know about you and about your case. Dress accordingly. Dressing properly before the court is a sign of respect and is important in order to be taken seriously as you present your case. Conservative business attire should be worn, and a professional appearance should be presented, and will go a long way in displaying your high regard for the court. Next, as we've already talked about arriving on time and what you should do to do that and to ensure that. You also want to make sure that you are you are actually seated in the courtroom once you have located it at least 30 minutes before the scheduled time. This all helps in creating a much less stressful environment and shows respect to the court. While as we are talking about respect, another key and imperative approach to take is to be respectful. The courthouse is a highly traditional environment which deserves the respect and seriousness that it deserves from the public. Observers or parties in the courtroom who break the general rules of the court may be asked to be reprimanded or be removed from the court. This is not something you want to happen, and so it's important to follow the rules that I'm about to set forth. First of all, turn off all mobile devices. You will be reprimanded if your phone or any other mobile device goes off in court. Familiarize yourself with the courtroom layout. You can even do this a couple of days ahead of time. You can go find your courtroom, walk inside, take a look at what it looks like. As you enter the courtroom, at the rear of the courtroom, you will notice benches where the public can sit to observe the hearing. Beyond that are 2 trial tables, one for each party, and this is where each party will present their case. The judge will be seated on an elevated platform in front of those tables, and he will direct the court activity, he or she will direct the court activity, hear the testimony, and ultimately decide the case. There is also a witness stand and a jury box. Other court personnel could include a court reporter, the court clerk, a law clerk, and a bailiff. Keep conversation and noises to a minimum in and outside the courtroom. Outside the courtroom, sometimes the court can hear the ongoings of the noise outside the courtroom, and this is very distracting to them. And you can imagine inside the courtroom, if people are talking and whispering, cell phones are going off, this is extremely distracting to the parties and the judges who are working the case. Do not bring food and drink into the courtroom. Chewing gum is absolutely prohibited, and you may only eat in the designated areas that are assigned by the courthouse. Do not speak in the courtroom unless you are directed to by the judge or the court clerk. When speaking to the judge, however, consider your discussion a conversation and maintaining a calm demeanor using concise language as you present the case. Keep your emotions under control. There is no place in the courtroom for angry outbursts, audible signs of frustration, and annoyance. Your case could be stopped at this point. You will be reprimanded, and it could ultimately jeopardize your case. Always be respectful to the judge and other court personnel. This includes standing when the judge enters a courtroom or exits a courtroom, and addressing the judge as your honor at all times when addressing him. Avoid discussing trial proceedings in the hallways of the court. If you must discuss something with your attorney, move to a quiet area away from others where you can not be distracting to other participants of the court. Avoid leaving the courtroom without permission, and consider entering or leaving the courtroom only at designated times and breaks in the proceedings. If for some reason you are a party and you would have to leave the courtroom, you simply raise your hand and ask permission of the judge if you may do so. Always, always be diligent. Clients who are attentive during the proceeding and are respectful of the court, rules will make a lasting impression on the judge when he decides the case. He or she decides the case. Fortunately, the legal system does not have to be complex. With some preparation and an understanding of courtroom procedures and protocols, and while managing your stress levels, one can succeed in obtaining a favorable outcome, even if you do not have an attorney. Keep in mind there are many resources available to you to help you efficiently and effectively navigate the process, including the organizations that I have provided to you, and those that provide free legal services for those who cannot afford an attorney. I thank you for listening today, and I hope this information is valuable to you. You can always contact MVLS if you have any questions or concerns regarding your case. I thank you again for attending, and I wish you a wonderful day.